Oh.
This weekend. First one. I just turned the lights on. Oh, okay, that's okay. Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order. Let's give fans of the pledge of allegiance. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming out on this beautiful evening. I'll try to open the meeting with a prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, Lord, it is a wonderful privilege to come to this museum, where we are seeing us through another adventure, and we thank you for the warm weather that's coming. I pray, brother, we praise you lifting up this evening and bringing us with your wisdom, your direction, and the decisions that are to be made, that they would honor and glorify you. Lord, we have to guide and direct everything with safety upon each one, in Jesus' name, amen. Is there a motion to approve the regular meeting agenda?
Make their action, under new business, line 4, land division.
It's not ready. It's very friendly under vision. And number 1, cemetery ordinance. We will under new or old business, excuse me. We will have that next month. Okay, so motion.
We approve the agenda.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion passed. Comments from scheduled guests. Just as a reminder, there are comments at the start of the meeting. There are no comments at the end of the meeting. 3 minutes, for those guests. If guests have questions of people who are here, like road commissioners or someone of that sort, feel free to ask those questions at that time. Road commission.
Thank you for having me. Sorry off that. Also being on the park board, at our last parks meeting, our director, Mike Wertz, has been meeting with the architect, going over the plans and applying for permits for the handicap accessible docks and trails that we got the DNR grant for, some thousand. And so we'll probably be starting work on that sometime once we let it out for bids. Also, he met with representatives from the DNR, talking about doing not dredging, but they found a contractor that had an excavator with 60-foot reach. And so doing some removal on the front pond. So that makes it better for fishing and trying to get rid of some of the lily pads accumulated out there. Dirt will be stored on site in fabric bags. So when you put the dirt in there, then the water can run back out. It'd be placed on one of the back ponds, so that the water can run into that. So that would only be on site. After dirt right out, then possibly we could sell it for top dirt even, but that's to be determined at a later date. We'd have to, the DNR representative said that there was a grant from the DNR to do that kind of work, so we'll probably be applying for one of those hopefully in the future to see if we can get the ponds more usable for fishing and recreation use. On the road commission side, this brought to our attention a while ago that the coffer dams at Lewisberry Park are the responsibility of the road commission. Now, why we got stuck with some dams, nobody seems to know, but they're deteriorating the country, and so we've contacted a consulting or engineer. So we got to properly take care of those. Ultimately, we'll have to probably cut state roads and put a new cross culvert underneath the road so that the water can flow to the north, as it's supposed to do now. The road commission end of it, we have started the crews are went out, they've been doing grading and whatever the weather can allow them to do. They've also been cutting brush in the northeast quadrant, which would be Somerset Township. That's what we're gonna do our brush spraying initiative. That will come out in the fall. They're also doing some canopy work and also cutting trees on request. Service requests from, because the tree owner is the landowner, on the center of the road. So by rights, the county, unless the tree is in the road, the county can't come out and cut the tree. We have to get the permission from the landowner. And so these are people that call it those dead trees and we've been out there cutting those. As far as the brine, we're gonna start with Somerset Township. Now, they haven't decided which way, whether they're gonna go down along the east side of the county or if they're gonna go across the north and then come back. So either way, we'll probably be
Towards the bottom of the middle.
but they haven't really determined yet which way to go. It's like,
1 year, them to start with H's instead of A's or S's.
unfortunately, with all the rain we're getting, that delays us, so. Which we would like to get started. But then on the other side, we haven't gotten all of our limestone yet for limestone patching. I don't believe you use limestone. I think you use just gravel, but what we do is we have contractors that haul grain to Toledo. And then they stop at the limestone quarry in Limesville and haul the limestone back to us. But because the grain prices have been fluctuating so much, they haven't been hauling any grain. But they're starting to now, so we do have one, the Stevens pit is full of limestone and they're gonna start on the one at Osceola, off of. Should hopefully by the middle of the month have all the limestone here, so when the weather does clear. The gravel patch and limestone. We are hiring. We're hiring seasonals. They plan to start the seasonals on May 9th. We have 5 returning and planning to hire an additional 7 to 9 to help with their construction season. And the work will consist of mowing, flagging traffic, and other labor of the job function. So, you know, everybody's looking for a job. And apply out to road commission. And other than that, that's about all I got. We are going to start bring pavement parking like that. So the roads that haven't been done will be paid for. The roads that we are working on won't be paid until we're done with those. But other than that, that's about all I've got. For the report, if there's any questions or comments, I'd be glad to come and answer.
Mark, I see we got, here, this curve before Bun. It's about that deep in the shoulder.
Needs gravel.
Yeah, and then this one up here, coming down is.
I've talked with the superintendent, Kevin Sanders, and he believes that probably what they'll have to do is come out and quite possibly pave the ditch. They'll have to probably bring the grade all out, dip it out, and then actually put either millings in it or pave the ditch so that the water coming down the hill doesn't wash it away. But I can make a note on one road.
Right before Bun.
For
Bacon. Right before Bun.
Any questions? Okay,
And
thank
then
you.
also, I'm sorry, just a quick reminder of cleaning up our yard out here.
Yeah,
Well, we had mentioned it, but
they haven't done it yet, but what they propose to do is put a York rake on the skid loader, so they come out and get them all done faster, but I'll make a note of that too.
Thank you. On to county commissioners, and neither Or not tonight. It's highly unusual. Okay, Hillsdale County Senior Services Center representative. They're not even. Fire board members. Dave,
Um. The only thing that we have for the agenda tonight is, to open a conversation about the blueprints for the new addition that we would like to add on to the fire department. We've been given a quote of 1,900, which will have everything in there that we want. And then if there comes to be a problem or anything that we can scale back on some. But I would have Mike Rose speak about all that, because he's more of a through than I am.
I don't want to have the confusion that we had a couple years ago. Because there was never a set of prints. It was this one wanted this one wanted that. I got with this firm, it's out of Coldwater, he's very reputable, got everything out to the college area, and a lot of stuff runs. It does sound like a lot of money, but it's gonna have everything in there, it'll have a printout of what everything is, we can look at it, after we have them and say, well, no, we don't want this in here. I went to the extreme of everything from the beginning. That way we can go over it and say, no here, no here, that way when this pack is handed out, everybody is quoting to the same specification.
do you as a board and as members, are you all on the same page of what you want? Because there seem to be,
Yes,
okay, a little bit of difference. in the-
hesitation. To be truthful with that, I don't get a lot of static from them. Because as you very well know, I come prepared knowing what we need, what we can get by with. And yeah, they're always important.
Well, and is there, I mean, in a perfect world, when would you see this happening, the actual building? Because we just don't know. I guess we're gonna have to talk to even see if the prints
Well, and
can go forward.
of course, I'd be realistic, I'd love to see it start next week. But in reality, once we had this set of prints, if we don't do it for 3 months or 6 months or a year, the prints will still be there. And those specifications will be the same no matter what.
Even if it's 2 or 3 years.
Bite your tongue. Yes.
I'm not speaking for anyone, I'm just conjecturing.
Even if it's 2 or 3 years, the specification will still be the same. The only thing that would change would be the quotes, and that's only the change when we release them out to the public before.
So you mentioned it's $1,900 to get this light blue.
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of money, but when you look back at some of the confusion we had a while back, I don't want, I want everybody to know right up front what we're looking at, so we don't have.
And with that, I just, with that comes, I mean, we have we have to finish some of the concrete on the building, and then if there's the addition, then we'd have more concrete and all of that. So we're just trying to take everything into consideration.
Well, and this whole packing concrete is already included for that part of it. The siding, the metal from the inside, the heaters, the doors, the groundwork that has to be done, it's all in this package.
And you really need the prints before you can get quotes.
Yes.
We're hoping that we can get the board support of it. Even if it takes a little bit to get there. We'll have it, we'll be ready to go.
Okay. Bring up something. to Discuss now or bring it up in current business.
I make a motion that they go ahead with the architect. They get that done. I revisit everything else. Till we know what contractors and how much.
So at this point, we don't even know the cost.
Right,
Yeah.
so we don't know, like, you know, is it gonna be steel, is it gonna be, you know, and all of that will come into play once you have.
Siding and steel mattress.
No. Okay. Discussion? Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the $1,900 quote for blueprints for the fire extinguisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, on to any other fire information?
I
Yeah,
do
Mike.
have a question. We're doing the jump day again. Are we paying the guys like we have in the past?
We have in the past, yes. Did we put a certain number on
Yes.
it?
And then how Mike usually does it is, and we don't do like a set hourly rate. It's 1,200 and then there's usually a good number that are there working and then he takes that and divides it up between.
For the workers.
For the workers. The fire.
So the same as we've done in the past? Okay. Are you good with that?
Yes, I am. I just wanted,
And the postcards should be coming out.
I got mine.
Yeah, okay.
I got one saying
Good.
I actually got a couple of days that got his too.
What?
I got a call from a guy today that got his. So,
Okay,
And just, okay, so I believe, I don't know if it was this report or last month's report, but you had talked about one of the trucks had some damage to it.
that was this week, this month.
That was report, okay.
That was our,
Um,
one of our grass fields.
Now, we do have insurance, so how does, I mean, like, how, I guess what I want to discuss is when is a good time to turn that into insurance, when is not a good time to turn that into insurance? Like, is there a,
I think we'd have to probably find out the extent of the damage. Find out how much it would cost to fix it and then talk to Kevin Decker and say, is this, you know, see what we have to have it deductible and see how much the rates would go up and if it's worth it, I guess.
okay,
Well, I don't want to do anything on it until we get past the grass season,
Okay,
because that's our, one of our grass mowing.
Right.
Take it out of service during that time.
okay.
that makes sense. Okay.
Anything else?
And direction, once we get past that, I'll get a quote and then bring it up and we can go that. Decide which way to go with it.
Thanks, Mike. Zoning administrator, John?
Doesn't look like much, but I seem to spend a lot. I'm learning, we've had a couple of land splits and I'm learning how that actually works, zoning permits. And I think everything's rolling already. We had one, I was hoping to get, Tim called me on, we were hoping to get out and for the agenda this night, but it wasn't prepared, and they didn't have their ducks in a row, so that's why we took it more off, but I don't have anything else.
Oh, it's right as a year.
Oh, I guess I'm too far.
No, it's the back, but
Shipping container. I don't think anything's gonna come off.
I was thinking.
Well, it's cause then it's gotta be 24 wide,
Yeah.
so we would have to cut the side of that shipping container out. to make it- So like, he didn't act like that was something that he was all, that's something that I can do, but just this question. Whether it could be done in the township, I said, I don't, and it's actually addressed in the code environment, so.
Okay, thanks, Sean. We appreciate all your learning.
I appreciate
Tim especially.
Told you a couple times. It's all good.
Okay, public comments.
The fire board, you guys talked about giving raises to the planning commission and the ZBA. I asked about the fire board. I don't think you understood what I was asking, but you said they hadn't come to you about a raise. Is what you said to me. What I was asking is, were they included in the boards that we're gonna get a raise?
Well, we have not voted on a raise yet from the board. I just want to make that clear. We put a little more in the budget if we needed to investigate, find some research from other townships our size. So that would have to be a board a board decision at that point, but I assume that if we do our research and there's an across the board percentage increase, that would also be for the fire department.
Okay, because I was asking because you didn't mention them, and you mentioned the other two boards. And I didn't understand why.
So we're supposed to be taking, we don't know a lot about how the fire teams run, what the needs are. Just one sec, Jack. So we're supposed to be taking advice from the fire board, and they're supposed to come to us for what their needs and wants are.
You gotta understand what I'm saying. I'm saying you said in the raises, you said the planning commission and the ZBA boards. Okay, I asked the question, are you also gonna do the fire boards? I'm not asking anything about the firefighters. I'm strictly asking about.
Oh, fire board.
Yeah, that's what I asked you before.
I just got that, Jack. I'm sorry, I did misunderstand. Yeah, so if that was the case, then if, I think it might be a month or two that we need to research on that, then it would be the fire board as well.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
And I just want to add in really quick here, Jack, I'm sorry, but thank you, because Jack has done a lot of legwork and he's been emailing me, so I haven't given it to you yet.
Oh,
But I have a list, of like probably 10 different townships that are similar in size.
Yep.
That have their amounts that they're
Yeah.
paying, so I have that, but thank you.
Okay, MD1, the new business budget amendments, what is that?
so we have to end the year on a balanced budget, so
Okay, so you're just gonna move some money around to make the budget balance. Right?
yes, that's what we have to do. I mean, there are some revenues that are higher than expected, there are some expenditures that are higher than expected.
Why I ask is, I thought maybe that was your pay salary increases and stuff, because it doesn't really say too much here. That was like.
We already approved the budget last month.
Okay, no, I understand. Agendas, we're not getting agendas anymore. Is that gonna be a policy now, since how the planning commission doesn't have to give us one, that we're not gonna get one from you guys either?
That kind of goes by month, just it,
It's been 2 months, we haven't had one.
well, and like, I've got the agenda ready and we've made 2 changes to it already. And
Okay,
so, I mean, I can put something up there, but
well, as long as it's not
so,
like a blank, basically agenda, because we want to know what we're coming here and what we want to talk about and what we can look up to see, so we're not here stupid either. And that's why we want the agendas. Is it gonna be a policy that the planning commission does not give us an agenda?
That what?
The planning commission is not gonna give us agendas.
that is being worked on. So that will, hopefully in the next month or 2, you will be having agendas ahead of time.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No.
No.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay,
Okay, just a minute, now I'm gonna break it down. Can I come back? I've lost track of what I was talking about.
Talking about raises.
That was not bad. Oh, training. Like the training that the planning commission did. Is the general public allowed to go to those? Or not? I mean, they're actually meetings. I know you move them around, so you don't know, and I know they're not publicly posted.
you mean meetings that we pay for training through the MTA or something of that sort?
No, because
Or they pay for.
Right, I mean, I have no idea. You could call Michigan Townships Association and see if a citizen who's not part of a municipality board can go to some of their trainings if they want to pay for it.
I'm not meaning strictly their meetings, I'm talking any meeting where the board gets together. That's kind of a conversation, like a training meeting, whatever you want to call it. Not paying for anything, can anybody go to those meetings? Because you are having a forum of the people.
we don't have meetings outside of this meeting unless, I mean, the only one we had was the budget workshop and that was posted. Cause we can't have more than 3 people.
Okay, so like that, okay. I'm talking about the planning commission's meeting they had at the ISD.
Yeah, it was a training, it was a.
It's cool. Can the general public go to those?
I don't know the age for that. I mean, we pay for
They're
that
just
training.
training, they're not doing
There's not-
business.
there's no
They're not
business.
having a public meeting and doing business, like
Just-
the
just
township
asking.
board, there's 5 of us and we go and meet with the commission every year.
I know, I'm
And
just asking.
that's not open to the public necessarily. I mean, that's just, we're just going in, meeting with them, talking with them, but we're not making decisions as a
Making
group.
decisions, I'm just asking, can anybody go with those? I just want to yes or no, I guess, that's my question. If you want to check with them,
That would be, it doesn't have to be posted. I don't think there'd be no need.
if you want to bring them to you, that's fine, I just wanted to.
Is that like a pay individually to go to?
No,
The
that's
board
the board pays.
Pays
for training for planning commission or the
Okay.
ZBA or.
What I'm asking,
By individual or as a group?
I'm sorry?
So paid by individual or a group?
The township board pays for training for people on those commissions or boards.
I'm just asking about training that you don't necessarily pay for. And there's a meeting of a board there. Not that you've ever had, but I'm not saying you have. I'm just asking, can I go to that meeting?
If it's, I mean, it would have to be posted.
Okay,
If it wasn't a training.
If it wasn't a training, it would have to be posted, and if it's posted, you can come. Unless it's a closed meeting.
Is it a training like MTA that you can attend?
I'm sorry.
You're saying that if it's a meeting of that Michigan,
Township.
yeah, Township Association, if they put it on, you can't attend. But if it's a training like,
I said, I don't know if you can attend. You could call Michigan Townships Association.
well, I was just wondering if it was from like one board here to another board. And they decide to get together and do kind of meeting for the best interest.
No, it just doesn't happen. Like, that'd be an open violation of the meeting. I mean, you can't do that. And I'm probably one of the most parliamentarian person here in Highland Fund. In fact, I questioned Jackie the last time I went to the where you
Trying to help you.
where you just talked about, like down at the,
Well,
no?
oh, the road
Road
commission.
commission. They're all guys like, "Can we be doing this?" Because we're all the other, yes, okay, they get checked of that, that's it. It doesn't happen, ever.
Okay, so for further comment,
Yes, sir, so they didn't get an answer to your question.
You can call NTA and ask them.
They won't tell us anything because we're not part of the Michigan Township Association. I'm asking you.
So, you know, I don't know, I would probably say it's an MTA, so since you're not a member of MTA, then I would say probably no. Not be always that, but I'm just guessing at that.
okay. I see one more correction that needs to be done in regards to the agenda that you missed. And that is under old business resolution 2026-0301, adoption of master plan. That number, resolution to the ordinance, for the Creole, moratorium. So that's got a low number in it. But, further discussion, and Sean, please correct me if I'm wrong in this. But last month, at a township meeting, you stated in regards to the land split, I believe it was on Meadow Lane with Perry Van Dusen, that, Joe helped you with the legal description on that?
Yeah.
I didn't know Joe was an attorney and could do that.
He said he'd been trained and it went through, everything was approved.
he did a legal description, but we could move the lot line when it was surveyed. He just wrote a legal description. And yesterday, or today, he gave me the survey, which we have to adjust the lot line, so we have to pay $125 they have to pay $125 to adjust the lot line to meet the survey parcels. He wrote a legal description, but the survey had to make it official.
I still stand for what I said, it's not that term. At the March planning meeting, Joe decided that he was not going to review or discuss the ordinance
Does the state have to do-
306.
Does the state have to be an attorney to write that legal description? I'm confused. I'm just.
We never use an attorney to write a legal description, so.
I know the people where they go to do their closings and stuff, he writes legal description. Well, he's an attorney, he's a. Closing.
Back to, at the March planning meeting, Joe decided that he was not going to review or discuss the ordinance 20.6-0301. And that he would, and that would be determined at the state level, quote, like state level quoting, it is out of our hands. I guess the attorneys, our attorneys that you guys paid for the meeting that you went to, Jackie, and for the solar and moratorium that we discussed last month. I guess you just wasted our township money in regards to it because he did not address anything. He washed his hands of it. It's in state hands.
Well, it's not in the state hand.
That's what he believed. He was not gonna discuss it. It was in state hands. They will make the determination. Didn't matter whether you did a pre-op or moratorium.
Moratorium, we did that at the last meeting.
We voted in the moratorium, but we had to adopt it into the zoning,
Correct.
the moratorium piece of it, not, which I think we're waiting for Cat to do
Right.
some language.
The moratorium's on the website.
Yes, we have approved the moratorium. The second step of that is that the planning commission has to change the zoning so that it allows moratoriums. Any other public comments?
Mr. James got,
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
I still want to start on what I don't have written down first. There's a flood warning tonight. There's going to be heavy rains. And as I look at our downspout here, it's connected to, or maybe it was this end. It's connected to nothing. It's just pouring on the foundation. When you look at the downspout here, it's rated with perforated pipe running down the side of the foundation. If I remember right from the budget meeting, last meeting, we were going to spend some money on this place. And I do notice we did do lights. And I just kind of befuddled that you would urinate water on a foundation and then spend money on a property. It just seems really counterintuitive. And I don't want to be pointing any fingers, but I know for a fact that I sent the clerk pictures of the exact same thing almost 2 years ago and pointed it out to you guys, maybe longer than that, maybe 18 months, but it's been a long time. And it's exactly the same.
Well, this is all slab from here to the front.
It's a little bit harder than underneath the slab, and the slab's some size. It's water on the foundation. I don't know anybody that recommends that. So I've been looking at the website and I really appreciate the website updated, and I was not here when you signed the principles of governance. And I also want to recognize Ms. Swan and her efforts today and taping. And I think she does an excellent job as a videographer. She's always professional and she's always well taped. And I would hope that the township would at least have a discussion with Ms. Swan about taping our meetings. And I appreciate her being here today. And the principles of government, I just want to quickly read through it. It says, we pledge to insist on the highest standards of ethical conduct by all who act on behalf of this township. Number 2, bring credit, honor, and dignity to our public offices through collegial board deliberations and diligent, appropriate responses to constituent concerns. Actively pursue education and knowledge and embrace the best practices. Treat all persons with dignity, respect, and impartiality. without prejudice or discrimination, practice openness and transparency in our decisions and actions, cooperate in all reasonable ways with other government entities, and consider the impact our decisions may have outside the township's borders, communicate to the public township issues, challenges, and successes, and welcome active involvement of stakeholders to further the township's well-being. Strive for compliance with all state and federal statutory requirements. Refuse to participate in any decisions or activities for personal gain at the expense or best interests of township. Further the understanding of the obligations and responsibilities of American citizenship, democratic governance, and freedom. It's all signed by you guys. If you're gonna read my emails, which I don't want you to, those are supposed to be private conversations between the two of us, but I don't care if you do. But if you do, I think that I'm gonna have to read paragraph 3 from Mr. Webb's March 6th letter again. And it says, instead, at least one senior official is responsible for providing numerous lies and half-truths to my employer regarding my family's legitimate protest of this theft. I believe such behavior aimed at the employment of a family member's sole breadwinner is an attack at children of the home. It is malfeasance worthy of recall. Now, I don't know whether what Mr. Webb said is true. He's provided no documentation that I can assess, but I do know I've had a couple of rodeos. And I think, I really thank Mrs. Swan for taping these meetings. Ms. Swan, I apologize. And I really hope that we can start to tape the planning commission meetings because they are a go play. Thank you.
Thank you. If you have public comments. Okay, we are going to move on to correspondence. Oh.
So correspondence, I do have 2 emails from Mr. Thomas. I'll just hand those out and you guys can have those
From last.
this was after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And then, so there's that one. And this one.
Any other? Oh, here. Yeah, there's one from him.
And then, just a reminder of the e-waste collection coming up April 24th and 25th from 8 to 5 and 8 to noon on the 25th. For any electronics, it's during the tree sales at the Hillsdale County Fair Center. So we talked about that last month, but just a reminder if anyone is interested in that. And then I would have Kelly maybe talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Hillsdale County Community Foundation is hosting, it's called Mind Planning for Life's Next Chapter. And it's gonna be held Monday, this coming Monday, April 20th at the Senior Center from 1 to 4. And there will be attorneys there, funeral directors. We were asked as a township board if we wanted to have our sexton, cemetery sexton, also present to talk about how to purchase a cemetery plot. So I will be there with Chad. I volunteered to be there with him as well. And then Janelle and I, a couple weeks ago, came up with some brochures that we'll have available to kind of highlight our cemetery and then just some general document, information on how, costs, and what it looks like and everything. So
And they look awesome. And now that I know your skill sets.
yeah, I don't know about that.
More will be coming
So-
your way.
So appreciated the invite from the foundation and yeah, and it's
And I
open,
think
and it's open up to anybody who wants to attend. There's no cost. And I know that they've done a pretty good job. I get something in my mailbox, so I think they're
And I think we have heard or know that our lots are the most inexpensive around.
They are, and that's
so-
what, I talked to Shane Dow and he said by far we're the cheapest compared to Jonesville and.
And we have a columbarium.
Yeah.
So,
And he said that we should have some good traffic.
awesome. Thank you both for doing that.
And then
Thank you for going.
I have a letter for the board, that's from me, but I don't know, it has to do with number 2 on old business. So I don't know if we want that now or if we wanna wait. Okay.
Let's wait for new business.
Probably.
Or I could just say, it's a letter, from our township clerk, Janelle Stewart. She's recusing herself from actions to be made concerning a new well at the township hall. A conflict of interest to take part in the decision-making due to the fact that her husband and she own a well water drilling company. I will help do any administration needed to assist in getting the work completed. So, thank you, Janelle. Any other correspondence? Okay, consent agenda, bills and financial.
Okay, so for the general fund, we have $86,916.46. And this is the start of our fiscal year, so that includes the 60,000 that we do for the fire contract, the fire department. And then also has the library contract amount in there. And then the fire department, $976.77.
Okay, minutes from the last board meeting, the last planning commission meeting, and the fire board report and sheets to report. Please review those and see if there are any additions or corrections.
And I did not receive a fire board report.
We don't have a fire board report.
There was a problem with sending that out, cause I didn't get one either. Of our meeting. So there must have been a glitch in the computer. When
Okay, no problem.
our secretary typed on it. I will say one thing about the fire department. Jack tonight finally turned in his last resignation.
It makes me sad.
He's had several, but he said this was the last. Of course, we turned him down to accept it, but he said too bad. So he is done. I think.
Okay, so please review those minutes. Any additions or corrections? Okay, on to treasurer's report. Now, let's.
We currently have in all our funds $866,527.13. And that's made up of $807,415.12 for our general fund. And then $59,112.01 in the fire department. So, and nothing more.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Old business cemetery ordinance, we're tabling that until next meeting. I did get a call, maybe this should have been a correspondence, that King Lake Cemetery needs posted signage like Sand Lake Cemetery has about hours, rules. There are some neighboring properties that have had some problems with garbage when things being thrown around, loiterers, things of that sort. So I don't remember, Janelle, where we had those signs made. That's
I don't know if there would be anything. I haven't gone out and looked at the sign.
okay,
Maybe there would be something on it, you know.
yeah, okay. I think they wanted, I think these are they're on posts, right?
Yep. We got five of those.
I know, exactly.
That came like was nailed to a tree.
Gotcha. So we need something posted out there. Did you want me to try to take care of that? I know your plate's pretty full, or one of the trustees. Have any trust in that?
Do we find a sign?
Go look at the sign in Sand Lake Valley and order one to be mounted at King Lake.
Where's the one at San Lake?
It's posted out there, but I don't remember where we got it. But we want the same concept at King Lake.
Who'd you go through, you know? No?
That's what we were just trying to
Or down here
yeah.
Bringers.
You think they can make a metal sign?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I can do that.
awesome. You could take a picture of that one, just tell them we want the same thing over there. And then I don't know, get it mounted, and posted, that would be great. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. Concrete ribbons needed. We should talk about that, right?
We will table that until next week.
Well, that's the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But maybe we should talk about the. Was it Gary Smith who did it in the past or somebody after that? He lives on,
No, yeah, there was other people that have done that.
yeah, he did it the amount of time like that.
It says we need more.
Yeah.
So with the discussion that's going Monday, Chad mentioned to Janelle and I that, I think Russ run Gordon's space at this point. So he said if we're gonna be promoting cemetery plots, we should have probably ribbons in there.
We 60 to 70 right now. And they fill first.
So we have
ribbons.
concrete poured for 60 to
60 or
70
70, yeah.
new sites.
So why did he?
I know that, I know that. And,
Is
and
it
then
that there isn't anyone buried there yet, but it may be so soon.
two I know were sold. They've got a stone on. The parents and
Right.
are there, so they want to be there.
So,
But Chad would have the software, right?
yeah, do you have Chad's number?
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe you could talk with him. And see, cause he was saying that he was of the impression that we needed to have some dip.
Before, so.
And with all the ones you're gonna sell?
Yeah.
Okay, new well at Paw. Is there a forward?
Yeah.
There
Well,
is, yeah.
here. Just, over the years, I know we've had issues with our well and, it's one of those underground bladder systems that's on top of the well, which is really low. So, through the budget process, we did enter into, added to the budget for this year. Got a quote from Cranks Well Drilling and Aquaflow Treatments. Looks like it's gonna be around 10,000. For a new well, and like this looks like everything, the bladders and. Everything.
So. This is just for the drilling,
So.
and this is for the,
And then the rest of it.
and I'm wondering, I talked to, remember when Kevin was here from our insurance, and they do the grants. I was wondering if maybe because it can be a liability issue, right? Because right now it can be opened up, that this might, maybe it has potential for one of their participating plan grants to minimize exposure. So maybe we can look at that.
This is what we call a warming station or with a generator now. You know, so if we ever have to have people on warming station or stuff, we just know that the water is.
Right.
Been treated,
Yeah,
tested. and-
that's a good point too. So maybe I will work on that.
So we get two bids. One for 4,000.
No.
and one
The drilling.
One for the drilling, and then one's for the rest of it.
Oh,
So
so
the setup of
that sounds all right for me.
it is.
That is-
Aren't we supposed to get a couple quotes?
Well, unfortunately, there's not that many people around. And,
It's not for a
except for,
user.
but, I did ask if that's been reviewed, and it was, so it was other than a little change. So,
Reviewed.
her husband
Oh,
took a look at it.
gotcha.
I
Yes,
twisted his arm.
so we're making a decision on this tonight. Does someone have a motion?
I'll make the motion, I make the motion that we accept the bid for Aquaflow and Crafts. Well,
I'll second you.
Any discussion?
I just have a question. So in the same spot, right?
no, it'll be a different spot, it's like Dan and Matt well,
Okay,
and then.
Separate out.
Then we'll get a 5-inch router instead of. I don't know what that is, 2.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's an important upgrade, and it's a safety issue. You know, you rent the hall, all you need is somebody trying to pop that open since it's open. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passed. Tim, did you get the bids?
I did.
Okay. So do you want to move forward?
Yeah, I already went up to the health department, got the. permit to get it going.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm going to, I'll check with the participating plan, our participating plan, and see maybe if
Yeah,
we're,
right, late on the-
yeah, it's recouping some of that, it would be nice. Okay, resolution 2026, is this changing, Janelle?
Okay, so this, is, so last month, we adopted the new master, the updated master plan. But we just need a resolution to make it official, I suppose. So it's, you know, the master plan hasn't changed at all, it's the same. This is just the resolution to officially.
Okay, Township of Hillsdale, Township Board Resolution to adopt master plan, it would be resolution number 2026 04 01, whereas the Michigan Planning Enabling Act authorizes the Planning Commission to prepare a master plan for the use, development, and preservation of all lands in the township. And whereas the Planning Commission prepared a proposed updated master plan and submitted the plan to the township for review and comment. Whereas on February 23rd, 2026, the Hillsdale Township Board received and reviewed the proposed master plan prepared by the Planning Commission.
That's when, yes, so that's when we received it and reviewed it from the planning commission. But that's.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Whereas the planning commission held a public hearing on February 16th, 2026 to consider public comment on the proposed updated master plan and to further review and comment on the proposed updated master plan. And whereas the township board finds that the proposed updated master plan is desirable and proper and furthers the use, preservation, and development goals and strategies of the township. Whereas the MPEA authorizes the township board to assert by resolution its right to approve or reject the proposed master plan. So therefore be resolved, the adoption of the 2026 master plan, distribution to notice groups, findings of fact, and effective date. This will be a roll call vote. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'll support.
Any discussion? Roll
Now
call.
that can be altered at any time, can it?
I mean, there's a process, yes,
Yes.
yes, it can be.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but it's a 5-year plan.
Right, but yeah, we can make an adjustment or an amendment anytime. We can.
Right, I mean, it should be in conjunction with the zoning.
Yeah.
Ordinance, kind of laying out based on. Zoning, what we see projecting in the township.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Sullivan,
Yes,
Wilcox,
Yes.
Lantis, yes. Stewart, yes. Emery,
Yes.
resolution has passed. Do you need one of these signed?
I think I can do it, cause you're just declaring.
Oh, okay. Oh, so here it was offered by, you have that there, okay, yeah, we're good. On to new business, budget amendments. Okay, I gave you all a pack of information, so as we said, we have our new budget that we adopted at last month's meeting for fiscal year beginning April 1st, 2026. You don't have one, there you go. I do. Okay. But once March 31st closes, we need to take a close look at our chart of accounts, our budget, what may be over or under. What I have for you here on the first page is the fire budget. It's on 2 pages. As you can see, the revenues, the two that were quite a bit over on revenue was the transfer from us, because we gave another 15,000 to the fire department. And the millage we projected at 58,000, it was actually $66,615. When we look at expenditures, there are a couple. Firefighters training was a little bit over, just by $400. We budgeted, yeah, Jim.
Sorry. So if this was the actual, should that be a little bit more?
This is revenue. Revenue can be under. Okay, just expenditures can't be under. Okay, I was just, yeah, okay. I gave a little bit extra just in case. Firefighters training, we budgeted 8,000, it was 8,400. Equipment, we budgeted 33,000, it ended up being 46,197. Insurance, it's gone way up, we budgeted 19,000 at the fire department, it's $25,884. Maintenance of the building and grounds, we budgeted 2,500, came in at 4,119, and then capital outlay. We budgeted 5,000, came in at 12,823, and what is included in that capital outlay, Janelle, just off the top of your head, do you know, just because some.
The gear lockers would be in there. And I think that's where
That's the
the.
majority of it. So, when I look at the revenue amendments, we get $22,000 more in revenue just from the 15,000 more the township added. And the fire millage came in at $7,000 extra, so that's 22,000 more in revenue. And that adjusts accordingly with, first of all, the one positive in the expenses, the salary for firefighters, we budgeted 30,000, it came in at 19,667. So actually we gained 9,200 on that. And then the second column are the categories I amended so that we are not over on those. So the revenue of 22,000 equals the expenses of 22,000. And if you look on this line, the first line where it says budget was last year's budget. The next line is actual expenditures. The next line is what we amended. So this is the amended budget, the third column, and it's 2 pages. And then the adjustments are in the 4th column. So the budget actually went from 146,700 to 167,011. Oh, I'm sorry, 168,700 based on the budget amount. Anybody understand that hodgepodge? Now we're at the township. So you can see in the township, Interest income was way more than expected. We budgeted 12,000. It came in at 19,482. Our state revenue sharing, we budgeted 215,000, came in at 220,035. Hall rents budgeted 9,000, came in at 11,125. Cemetery plot revenue budget 500, came in at 1,800, and Metro Authority 3,000, came in at 5,112. So just with those revenue amendments, we gained $17,400. And then if we look at our expenditures, dues were slightly over. We budgeted 1,500, they came in at 1,642, so we had to amend that category. Insurance was over for us, budgeted 6,500, came in at 7,877, had to adjust that one. Assessor contingency, budgeted 2,500, came in at 2,673, very little over, but had to adjust it. Sexton fees budgeted 1,000, came in at $1,003. Had to adjust that one. And then repairs and maintenance of Township Hall, we budgeted 10,000, came in at 15,000. So that was about, we adjusted that by 6,000. On the next page, capital outlay, we budgeted 3,000. We really didn't know any big projects we were doing. We actually spent 20,538. And Janelle, some of the things that fell into that category, just as a
So,
refresher.
Yeah, our lights and then the column area would be in there. What else would be in there?
That's a big chunk.
Then I think we put the software,
Yeah,
software's in there, and that's
so things that you keep year after year. Again, the public safety transfer, we budgeted 6,000, we did 75,000 to the fire department. And lastly, refuse collection, we had 2 dump days last year, so instead of the 22,000, it was 24,558. So with all those adjustments, I was able to add the revenue of 17,400, and then we adjusted the expenditures the same amount. So again, that I'm looking at and I have to do it landscape, so I apologize, but that third column is the amended budget for last year, so it went from 311,300 to 8,700. And then the adjustments, Janelle, are all here for you, so we put those in minutes.
I have a question. So we budgeted 55,000 for street or for road, and I spent 34,000.
Correct. Last year, and that is shown in here too, so some of those things, I added here, so we actually gained 20,000. Offset the other expenses from that, does that make sense? Okay. This is the bane of my existence over here, so, any other questions?
why you make the big bucks.
Always. Okay, is there a motion to approve the budget amendments for fiscal year end March 31st, 2026?
I'll make the motion.
Post report. Any discussion? I think that's what we just did. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed. And Janelle, you should have what you need. I don't know if you want me to send you. I'll email you this so that you have the amended budget as part of this on the computer. Okay, might just be easier to work that one for next year. Okay. Quote for trimming around the hall.
Okay, so that I do not.
And water displacement away from them. That's what we can do.
So, you
Stays there.
had worked on the downspout, right down here?
I didn't do this one, just.
No, but did you do both of them at each corner? At this end of the building?
Well, that one was in pieces, so I did that one, I didn't.
Okay, cause I don't think there's anything on that downspout on that.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't mind to maybe look at that one.
Can you look at this side too, please?
And yeah, this looks.
Yeah.
outside. So TBC just sent that. And, the weed killer, I think was 100 last year. That's gone up to 150. And the trimming, that's for like right around the hall, you know, trimming the bushes and that.
And that's just for this property, right?
Yeah.
Cutting back all the brush.
Well, just right here around the building, not the tree lines. The trim, you know, per trim, that's just the bushes like right here at the front of the building and, you know, these ones here.
So this is like a spring
Yeah.
trim to get things back.
But I did suggest to him to maybe wait. I don't know if he can do it in the fall. Because the tree, the little tree here between the sidewalks, that did not bloom much at all last year. And normally that thing is just covered. And I thought, wonder if that should have a little more time to
Right.
grow and, but I didn't pay a lot of attention to the rest of them. I mean, like, those spots seem pretty good.
Different hydrangeas need to trim at different times of the year, and I never know which way it is, so I don't know. So, this is $600, $450 for the trimming, $150 for the weed killer. Do we want to wait a bit on this, still put it for a vote, but not have it done based on your?
Well, yeah, I don't know how everybody else does. The weed killer, usually nothing to do once, you know, because then they're spraying the rocks around here and killing the weeds and, you know, that I think needs to be done regularly through the summertime. But I just was a little concerned about trimming those anymore, right?
So have we been paying $150 a month?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Cause I'm looking and the bushes don't look too bad. I mean, they look
Yeah.
pretty, you probably could hold off into the fall. If not, I can.
And I don't even know, I mean, he does all of our lawn work, I mean, this has to be approved, just a quote, but I think we should wait. Yeah, things look good. Okay.
Wait for Janelle's approval.
For your hydrangea research. Looking away for your hydrangea research. Okay, quote for door replacement.
That's me again. So I was here the other day, picking up some stuff and I went through this side door here and my goodness gracious, I could barely get that thing closed.
The metal one.
The metal one. I'm like, if I'm struggling with this, how is Janelle getting it done? I think she must be throwing a hit.
That was an old external door.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the
That's
next
what I
floor,
figured.
yes. So I brought in Adrian locksmith, and I had them take a look at that door. And he said there's just no fix to the metal door, it just needs to be replaced. So he gave us a quote of $675 to replace that. Well, it's a little bit more, you add in the lever set and the closer, but then also I had a look at this one, basically, he just said this is just a 4-dot design door here. He said, really, we should consider maybe replacing it at some point.
Which one?
The double door here, that.
G&G.
Yeah. So, he said he will adjust them and try to get them working better. Trying to have some renters, I guess it's gonna be better, but it's still a, you know, a problem.
Yeah, it's a weird.
So he's gonna try that, but he did say, he said probably replacing those would be about 10 grand.
I think that's what we think. That's what I said. I think it was temporary.
They asked me how long ago, and I said, well, I bet they're.
It's all a blur to me because I've been on the board for 26 years. But it was, I'm thinking 10, maybe more than 10, 12.
What? Oh,
Um,
doors?
Yeah.
No. 5, 8.
No, I think it's longer than 5.
It's because we're getting old, Rick. So,
Oh, I do have.
So anyway, I got a quote of $1,550 for the replacement of the door and then also the adjustment of this.
The rest of
what kind of door is he putting in?
It's gonna be steel. I mean, I'm not probably.
Another steel. I mean, now's the time if we want to do anything different. You know, in terms of look or, but I think You probably do want to style it.
Just
Yes,
like this size.
yeah.
They are leading away from the crash bars, so you don't have to have a little slidey lock. It's actually gonna get on it. 'Cause
Right.
You don't have to have the slide, the crash bar anymore.
Okay. There a motion?
I'll make the motion. Open it.
I will second it. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed to replace the door in between the addition and the old.
I won't have pushes on her hip anymore, you know?
It's hard. Okay, and the land division, we crossed off because it's not. Other current business, I just wanted to bring up, the spring cleanup, I was gonna ask about postcards. Fire department, it sounds like Mike's gonna be all set with the guys to work that day. I did put on the card and leave. What did you say, 2 mattresses per address or something of that sort, and
We never have the one dumpster just for mattresses.
we did that in the. Are we still doing that? Okay, and we're doing local, we're doing.
Yes,
Okay.
our Salyer will be bringing the dumpsters, he brought them last fall and he's doing that again.
So that's May 2nd, right, for the. dump day.
And I did do those postcards for everybody in the township, but I mean, if someone lives in the township and they can show it on. They should be able to, and also, it all depends on that postcard goes to, does it go to the property and then it's a renter? Does the owner know? The owner may not live there, so I think. Whoever shows up and has. An appropriate story, it should be surfaced. So, yeah.
We
Um,
check my meetings.
Any other current business? Okay, upcoming dates, Fire board meets May 4th at 6 p.m. Planning Commission, April 20th at 6 p.m. Spring cleanup is May 2nd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or full. We do have an election commission meeting in the office area quickly after this. Oh, sure. Yeah, after we adjourn.
Yeah, so it can be adjourned here.
Sure.
Well, it's an election commission meeting, so it's has 3 hours.
Yeah. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 7:44.
Enjoy the rest of the